everybody, it is Tiffany Capehart with Parks. How are you guys doing? So I have a special treat for you guys today. So I have with me some of the best and the brightest in the business, some of my friends, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what it means to be a Black or minority real estate agent here in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so I'm going to start to my left and have everybody introduce themselves. And so, Terry, you want to go ahead and start?
Yes, I am Terry Carter with Compass Real Estate here in Green Hills.
I am Tara Bell with Kelly Properties, also here in Green Hills.
I am Deanna Harris with eXp Realty, Nashville and Clarksville.
And I'm TJ Ojahoman with Realty One Group Music City here in Nashville.
Okay, awesome. And they're all so professional. But we're here today to really kind of get down into the nitty gritty of what it means to be a Black realtor in Nashville, Tennessee, and also other areas. I think a lot of us get into this business to really help our community. So we wanted to be able to really talk about what it means to be a Black realtor, how are we helping our communities, and what are some of the maybe misperceptions that are out there, so we can maybe clear some of that up. So we're just going to have a conversation, and we hope that you enjoy it. All right, so we're going to start with the first question of, let's talk about how you got into real estate. So TJ, why don't you tell us how you got started in real estate?
Yeah, I came from a banking and finance background, and so focused a lot on the numbers. And one particular instance happened in my banking experience that I can't forget. There was a client I was sitting down with who had took out quite a large load of a line of credit on a home that she owned free and clear, and her parents gave it to her. So they've had this home in the family for 2 generations, and consequently it was on Music Row, and she was kind of worried. She didn't make a ton of money, but she did not know that in when you do home equity lines of credit on a home, you have a certain time frame before it completely amortizes, and you got to start paying it all the way down, not just the interest only. So she was coming to the end of that interest only period, and she was worried. And we ran budget numbers, and I was like, this is going to be tight for you. But it was so funny when I spoke with some of our team in the mortgage department. They told me, they said, TJ, this house is worth about $900,000. And they said one good option would be for her to probably sell it and go take the cash and pay off that 250 some odd she owed and go make a progressive opportunity. And so I just remember saying, man, real estate can give people opportunities like that. That's super powerful. And so kind of one thing led to the next. I transitioned from banking and finance to property management, was a director of business development, helped that firm grow their portfolio 60 to 80%, and then transition full-time into working for myself. And so all in all, it's been a great experience, and it's just, I think real estate is one of those commodities that has so much value in so many different ways. So it's been important for me to stay in this business. So.
Awesome. Deanna, how about you?
My journey to real estate was pretty straightforward. I am a child of an entrepreneur. So I worked with my dad in his business. So it was mainly retail, then I went to corporate. But I always kind of went back to dad because dad had freedom. Dad could pick up and go on vacation. And at the time that I left him and went to corporate America, just wasn't a good fit. I did well, but I had a young son that I wanted to be able to go to his games and take him to school and do all that, and I was not able to do that as a single mom. So my cousin, Paige, she had her own brokerage, and she's been on HGTV and all that good stuff. She's like, well, I need help, and why don't you become a realtor? And I was like, okay. My job had just laid me off. So I said, why not just take the plunge? I've always loved real estate. I've always loved walking through houses and imagining, how I could make it my own. And I'm a people person. So I said, why not? And so 9 years ago, I took the plunge and haven't looked back.
Awesome. Okay, Tara.
Well, I got my start in real estate actually on the design side. I helped build the restoration hardware here in Green Hills, and I was on their design team, and I was designing builders and developers' homes, and then they were flipping them and, making a ton of money off of them. And then a lady from my church, I had told her about kind of the experience I had with some of the developers here. And she was like, you should get into real estate. You already know a lot of the developers because you're designing their houses. And she pretty much chased me down for about 2 years until I said, fine, I'll go get my license. Maybe you're right. And so I continued those relationships with those developers and those builders. And then I'm here now. I'm here.
Okay. Awesome. How many years has it been?
7, or
7?
going into 7.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
6 going into 7.
Okay, Terry?
My story isn't as interesting as you guys. I would say shortly, I was working for a Big 5 accounting firm here in town, and 9/11 occurred. And when 9/11 occurred, I started thinking about things a little bit differently for my life and what I was looking for. So I'll never forget that I was turning 30, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want to do for a little while. So I ended up taking another job that was where I was self-employed for a while. And just to come full circle, that same position became available here in Nashville, doing what I was doing. And I interviewed for that job, and I just knew I knocked it out the park. And I contacted the lady, asked her, how'd I do? Were they gonna give me an offer? And she said, oh yeah, you were great, you were wonderful. She said, but you were a little too confident in the interview. So we decided to go with someone else. And at that point, I was probably 2 years removed from that job with the Big 5 accounting firm. And I thought I would never let someone tell me again that my confidence is gonna be a hindrance from me getting a position. So I've always been a people person. So from then, I spoke to a friend of mine who was in real estate named Keith Jordan. Keith is actually a realtor here in town as well. I asked him, how do I become a real estate agent? And I never would have thought that I would even get involved in real estate. But for me, it was something that was really very, it was going to bring rewarding for me as well as people. So I'm a helpful person. So that's how I got into real estate 17 years ago.
17 years. Awesome. Yeah. So my role into real estate, I worked for the Metro Planning Department, and, I just remember being pregnant with my first child, and we were living in Antioch at the time. And if anyone watching this understands that I-24 commute between Antioch and downtown, I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I don't want to be one of those moms that's like ripping and running and trying to get to daycare on time. And, I just wanted something different for my life. And so I knew that I could take the experience I had from urban planning and then use it in the real estate side and consulting. And so that's how I got into real estate about 7 years ago.